And it like totally defies the laws of physics.
Welcome to Cloudy with a Chance of Meeples, a channel of conversation and board games.
Hey, my name is Brent here on Cloudy with a Chance of Meeples. Today we are looking at Drop It. A new game to us. It's about 5 years old, but a new game to me and my crew here. And it's a dexterity game of sorts. It's a game in which you'll be dropping different shapes, circles, diamonds, squares, and triangles, into this contraption that kind of reminds you of the game Plinko from Price is Right. I like dexterity games, not to say that I'm very good at them, but I like them. So let's show you how this one plays in the radar overview. Final forecast coming up. Cue the thunder. So the radar overview for Drop It, I feel the easiest way to show you how this game is played is to show you a little bit of a mock round as to how it is played. You set up the board that looks like this. I will say also that there's a variant where you can flip these over, these little things at the bottom, you can flip them over so that they are shapes. And then you don't put the shapes can't touch shapes, and you flip these ones out and they are the same shapes instead of the colors. Each player gets a set of different shapes. While they're the same shapes, you get 3 circles, a couple squares, a couple triangles, and a couple of diamonds. And then you get a scoring marker, a scoreboard, which you'll start and go around. Anytime you come around back to 0, you put a plus 25. If you go around again, plus 50. On your turn, you are taking one of your shapes and you are dropping it in the top of this and see how many points you get. If you get anything in between these specific lines, you'll get that many points. So anything underneath this bottom line will get you 1 point. If you're touching this little dot, that's a bonus 2. And then you have this section, anything in here is 2, and then a bonus of 3, bonus of 1. So this is how to play the game. I'm going to show you maybe all 4 colors and 2 turns each. So let's say the blue would go first. They take their square and they drop it. Well, that will be 0 points because it is touching the blue. Then it will be red's turn, and they would go maybe here. There you go. So they're not touching the side, they're not touching the red, so they get 1 point. The yellow's turn would go. Anytime you're dropping a color in or one of your pieces in, you can never touch the same color and you can never touch the same shape. So I could not drop in this square and touch this square. It'd be 0 points. So let's say yellow goes here. That's 1 point for them. And then it would be green's turn, and they would do, let's say, the triangle, and they would go right there. 1 point. Back to blue. And again, so they can't touch any of the same color or the same shape. Blue. There we go. Red's turn. Let's see if we can get something crazy going here. The other diamond. Let's put it like, and that will be 1 point. Actually, it's crossing that line, so that will be 2 points. Yellow's turn. They put this down here. It slid all the way down, but they're still crossing this 2 point threshold, so that will be worth 2. And then back to green, and they would put theirs in. That's for sure a straight easy, and that will be 2. So you just keep going as you keep going higher and higher. Your points are worth more and more. There is a variant. You can play teams, and you can play, with this bottom gone, so it's even easier, so that you can put anything on the bottom. You can also play a variant with joker tiles where each player gets 2 of these tokens, and they're virtually mulligans. So if you ever put a piece down, let's say it was my turn, and I put it like this. Oh man, it's landing, it's touching the blue, but I should be getting 3 points. I could use one of these to get the 3 points instead of getting 0 points. I will also say that each one of these is worth 3 points at the end of the game. So chances are you're not going to be using them until later on in the game. But that is, in a nutshell, how to play Drop It. It's pretty simple. So there you have it. Now let's check out the final forecast. So the final forecast for Drop It, dexterity game of sorts. It's on the radar overview. It's pretty simple. You got those shapes, you're dropping it into that container, trying to get your colors to not touch your other colors, and shapes not touching the same shapes. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. In a 4-player game, you got 9 turns. Games, rapid fire. You set this thing up, and you're going to be playing multiple rounds in a row. You set this up at a party or a function, people are going to come over and be like, what's going on? What is that? This is like the accessible game of all accessible games. Often people ask me, what's a good game to get into the hobby or whatever? And often I say Ticket to Ride. Because for me, Ticket to Ride is pretty easy. I've played tons and tons of games, and so yes, it is easy. But for those that maybe only know Monopoly, they only know Trouble, they only know Phase 10, Uno, all these, mass market games, Ticket to Ride is actually more difficult than I feel it is because I'm used to these hobby board games. And so often I feel that, sometimes I think people can easily pick up a game and it's more challenging than I think it is because they're not used to it. Drop It is like a mass market game with the flair of hobby board gaming. Amazing components. Cosmos is a great company that has a lot of great games, and this game just is an entryway into the hobby. I played this game with more people and taught this game to more people in the last 6 weeks than I have any other game in the last 4 years. And I kid you not, because New Year's just happened, Christmas happened, gatherings, New Year's parties. I set this thing up and people instantly are coming over and like, what is that? I was like, oh, just drop it. You want to play? Sure. Bam. All of a sudden you have 8 people, 4 teams of 2, and hilarity ensues. It's just a ton of fun. You start dropping those pieces in thinking, oh, that should work. I can put my square here. It won't be touching this square and it won't be touching, the side over here, and it's not touching this color. You put it in, everything gets jumbled up and you're like, what? How did that happen? That shouldn't have happened. Or you put something in and you're like, I'm so hooped. This should never happen. And then all of a sudden it works out and it totally defies the laws of physics. And it's just crazy. It's hilarious. So this game has gone over so well. I know it's not a newer game, but it's new to me. I finally got it to the table and this game is absolutely fantastic. I will say this, if you're really far behind, you can potentially see the writing on the walls that you're not going to win. If you're 30 points behind and you only got a couple left, chances are you're not going to win. But it's just such a light, easy, fast-flowing game. You just start a new round. Also, it's not colorblind friendly, I don't feel. Red, green. I'm not totally colorblind. I can see the differences. I am colorblind, but I can still see the differences in this game. But they could easily gone, maybe a white instead of red or green or black. Of course, that wouldn't have given, colorful flair and everything. I understand where they're going on that. But overall, this game's amazing. If you're looking for a family game with a lot of fun, and yeah, I can't say enough good things about Drop It. It's going to stay in our gaming library. We're going to play this a ton this year and many years to come. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of the most played games in my household in 2023. And so we'll have to see. We'll see what that list looks like at the end of the year. But Drop It, 90% Chance of Meeples. Absolutely fantastic. My name is Brent. Check us out on Facebook, Cloudy with the Chance of Meeples. Remember, grab your umbrella. The forecast is cloudy with a chance of meeples.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember to grab your umbrella because the forecast is cloudy with a chance of meeples.